What's up, everybody out there? How you doing? I want to say thank you for tuning in to another episode or another video over here at Pepe La View. I appreciate it. I really do. And I do want to welcome you new viewers, you returning viewers, and you subscribers. I appreciate it. And you new viewers and returning viewers, go ahead on and hit the subscribe button and become subscribers. And all of you, hit the like button as well as leave a comment. We're talking about R&B divas. Yes, we're getting there. R&B divas. This is tough. This is tough. This is by far a tough one. I've been sitting on this one for a while now, and I don't know. Maybe when I'm done, I'm going to feel comfortable with uploading the video. And if not, then, hey, I've talked about it to myself. Oh, this is tough. I'm a history major. I majored in history. And I remember in one of my history classes, my professor, we had to write this 10-page paper. And I like to think that I'm a very ambitious individual. And one of the remarks that my professor made on that particular paper was, she said, "Kareem, you cannot." She said, "You cannot write history in a 10-page paper." Because I was trying to pack as much as I could into this paper, because I was like, I'm trying to talk about everything, right, that pertains to this particular topic. And I agreed after I looked at the mark, and I was like, oh gosh, it wasn't that I didn't know what I was talking about. I was just trying to put everything in. And I feel like this is the route that I'm taking with this, but I'm trying to narrow the videos down to at least 30 minutes because there's a lot of R&B divas to cover. And my goal here with these R&B divas, I want to, I am in my sweet spot right now. I could do this forever, and I would be perfectly happy. I really would be. I could do that here just with music alone, period. But with R&B divas, I definitely could. And I just don't think I could do these two justice. I don't. You have to understand. These two divas right here, I am still learning. I'm getting to know them and what they're all about. Okay? If you've been watching long enough, then when it comes to R&B divas, hands down, Angela Winbush, she's the bomb.com. That's it. It gets no better than Angela Winbush. I'm sorry. Okay? It gets no better. Bernadette Cooper, who's over here on the end over here, because the first picture is of Joyce, Fenderella, Irby, and then the other picture is Bernadette Cooper. Bernadette Cooper was producing artists the same time Angela Winbush was doing it in the 80s. And oh gosh. And I followed Angela Winbush's career. I could sit here and I could just talk at the top of my head when it comes to Angela Winbush. It just does it because I have her catalog, and then I have her solo catalog. I have the Renee Angela catalog, and then I have artists who she's produced. I have their catalog. Do you see what I'm saying? And unfortunately, when it comes to Bernadette Cooper and Joyce, Fenderella, Irby, I don't have that. I have what I would consider the Klymaxx experience. And I think we all have the Klymaxx experience. And what is the Klymaxx experience? The men all pause, the meeting in the ladies' room, I miss you. By the way, my favorite song by Klymaxx is Sexy. Sexy. Right? That's my favorite song. Okay? by them. Whew. See, I'm just getting excited. So I have to keep myself level-headed for things like this. I do. Like, I'm just like, right now I'm all over the place, just in my head. Anyway, long story short, so I know Klymaxx, right? I know Bernadette Cooper. I know that she's the founder of Klymaxx. I know that she's a drummer, right? I know she's a producer. Girl group power, Madam X, just that type of girl. Madam X had a song on the Action Jackson soundtrack. Matter of fact, called Action Jackson. Oh, by the way, I learned something. Oh, speaking of Action Jackson, okay, speaking of, that's the movie that Vanity was in with Carl Weathers, right? From our understanding, that it was either the meeting in the ladies' room or Men All Pause. Did you know that that song was originally intended for Vanity? I was like, what? And you know what? For a minute there, I was like, no, I don't see Vanity doing that. But if you watch the movie, right? If you watch the movie, that's definitely in Vanity's lane. Like, I'm not joking. Like, Vanity is definitely Klymaxx in Madam X. Like, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. If you listen carefully to Vanity's songs in Action Jackson, by the way, I love Faraway Eyes and Undress, right? If you like Vanity in, what's the name of that movie? He's the martial artist. The Last Dragon, right? She sings in The Last Dragon. So when you think about that, that's right up Vanity's alley. I could see Vanity doing one of those songs. And then she has a song, did I say Undress? She has a song on the Action Jackson soundtrack called Undress. Listen to those songs and then listen to Men All Pause or Meeting in the Ladies' Room. And you have to go like, yeah, Vanity could have pulled that off. Well, anyway. So I couldn't do these ladies justice just talking about them, is what I'm saying. And I'm already nearly 10 minutes into the video, and I'm trying to keep it down to 30 minutes. And do you see where I am? That's why I said I've been all over the place. And I was going to do a video just about Bernadette Cooper. Well, what happened? Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. Well, I was also a fan of Joyce Irby when she released her record. I think it was in 1989. It was called Mr. DJ. Don't get it twisted. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you people, especially if you was born in the 2000s. We was rocking to Joyce Irby's Hey Mr. DJ and She's Not My Lover. Yeah, this lady here discovered Dallas Austin of TLC fame, or Boyz II Men fame. Ooh, Lord, baby, let me hit this button, child. Let me hit the button. Ooh, see, y'all know. See, from time to time, we dish out the dirt on who dropped, kicked who in these entertainment streets from time to time. Okay, woo. See, y'all trying to, I can feel you're trying to drag me into some dishing out that dirt. You're trying to drag, I can feel it. But that's not necessarily what I do over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't deal with dirt like that. I don't go around in people's trash or whatever you want to call it. I don't do that. You know, like, why? It's not necessary. But anyway, let me get back on track, y'all. I don't know. We might have a 2, 3, 4 part when it comes to this here. See, I was going to focus on only Bernadette, okay? But over the years, because of everything that's going on in the Klymaxx story. Klymaxx is going through the same thing that En Vogue was going through. See, I brought up En Vogue. As a matter of fact, I think Joyce Irby and Dawn Robinson of En Vogue and Maxine Jones of En Vogue, I think that they were like close musically. Matter of fact, they probably still, do keep in touch with each other from time to time. Oh, see, I told you that's why I knew. See, y'all see why I've been holding off on talking about this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not being dramatic. It's so anywho. So as I told you, I was going to do Bernadette only because I've always seen Bernadette in that producer songwriter role. Okay. Now, then I find out all of the things that Joyce Irby has been a part of. And let me just tell you now, Joyce Irby, she's no slouch. Like, she's the real deal Holyfield. She definitely is. Like, I'm not bragging. And it's a shame because just like I talk about Angela Winbush, and I really the reason why I talk about Angela Winbush so much is that you never, ever hear Angela talk about all these artists she's worked with and all the artists who have, sampled her music, like Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z and oh God, the countless people who Kenny Lattimore, Shantae Moore, what's that child name? Adina Howard, Will Downing. All that lady's catalog is in everybody's catalog. Who else? Stephanie Mills, the Isley Brothers. Oh gosh. Who else has sampled that lady's music? There's some rappers, other rappers I can't name. Oh, that's right. What's that group name? Not the Fugees. The one with will.i.am in it. What's the name of that group? The Black Eyed Peas? Yes, the Black Eyed Peas. Like their first record, not with Fergie in it, but the other one, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They covered her music. Anyway, where I'm going is that, so Bernadette, oh gosh, y'all, let me just take a break. It's just too overwhelming. Let me get back on track. So that's why I talk a lot about Angela's music, because she never talks about it. Never. And you will hear her, Joyce, talk about it in her interviews. Like I think she said like Sammy, and I think who's somebody named Lloyd. I really wasn't in what I call the little teeny bopper, acts. I never was, but I know a lot of people do like them. I'm definitely a fan of Dallas Austin because he's a producer and songwriter. And as I told you guys, if you follow me by now, by the time 1989 and 1990 came into play, I'm definitely there for anybody who's doing production, you see. Oh, Lord, we'll talk about Dallas Austin and her. Listen, Joyce Irby has a book out. Yes, listen. Purchase the book, by the way. Yes, promote the book. Yeah, I'm gonna promote the book for her. Yes, I'm looking for it. I'm waiting on it. It's coming in the mail. It's on its way to me. I'll get it. I'm gonna talk about it. I know I'm being silly. I'm being silly because this is gonna definitely be a part 2 video. It's gonna be a part 2 video. Let me get all this stuff out the way. And all you ever hear about Bernadette is that Bernadette is the founder of Klymaxx. Now, again, I'm a big Shirlene fan, so I know that Shirlene has some work. Bernadette did some work on Shirlene's record. Was it Fade to Black CD? I'm not quite sure about the CD. I think it's Fade to Black. The single I know is called New Dress. It is definitely Bernadette's style. It's definitely Bernadette's style of producing. Oh gosh, see, I'm going somewhere. See, I like how everything just flows when I'm just in my flow. all these dots connect. They're connecting. Stick around. And it's definitely in Bernadette's style. Bernadette, when I think of Bernadette writing style and production style, Bernadette is definitely, how can I say it? Well, if you could say a man's man, you could say a woman's woman. Like, she's definitely girly. You know, Bernadette is like, she's have somehow or another, for me, tied in her femininity into her writing style. Like, she will tell you in her music without, unapologetically tell you in her music that I am a woman, like I am a diva, like I am the one. That's what Bernadette would do in her music, and I so love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she will let you know. And Madam X, the same way, with just that type of girl. Definitely Bernadette. So anyway, going back to this producing. So let me just slow down. So what I don't do over here, not only do I not try to dish out the dirt all the time, like I just don't do that. But these two ladies here, and I mean this with respect, I don't want to knock Bernadette's contributions to Klymaxx as the founder. I don't. But to me, these ladies here, they're Klymaxx. Okay, the sound you get, I think it was the Calloway brothers who came up with the song Meeting in the Latest Room and so on and so forth. But there is a sound you get from Klymaxx. That's number one. And I think it's these ladies here. My opinion is just what it is. If I'm remembering the unsung correctly, did they do an unsung? I think they did an unsung. If I remember the unsung correctly, I think when Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was working with him, it was pretty much, hey, we done kind of taught you everything. You guys can do this. We done showed you how to do this. You can do this. It's the same way with, what's his name? Rick James with Tina Marie. When he was working with Tina Marie, it was like, there's nothing else I can do for her. It's like I done showed her everything that I know and so on and so forth. And Tina Marie took it and she became Lady T with it. By the way, see, I like talking about stuff like this. I never think about how to connect the dots because Tina Marie and Bernadette Cooper worked together on one of Tina Marie's albums, didn't she? See, I like that. See, that's why I love doing this. You see how excited I am about it? I think it was the 1990 record of Tina Marie's. Is it the song Here's Looking at You? I remember a video by the name of Here's Looking at You. And I remember a song, is it If I Were a Belle? No. It could have been If I Were a Belle. I'll look it up later. But Tina Marie and Bernadette Cooper, what I'm saying is they eventually hooked up musically on a project together. Calm down. So I believe that these two here are the Klymaxx sound, or is the Klymaxx sound that you get when you get Meetings in the Ladies' Room, the Men on Pause, and so on and so forth. What another thing too that I like about Klymaxx that no one never mentions, come a little closer and help me out. Is there another all-black female band out there? And if you are, please step up and let us see you, because I can't think of one, especially at the time of Klymaxx. I was thinking about, is Taste of Honey, which they're a duo though, the Boogie Oogie ladies. Well, they were guitarists, weren't they? Anyway, we'll find out. I'll look into that. I can't think of another one. The only group that I could think of at the time that was an all-girls group was the Go-Go's. Was that Belinda Carlisle? in that group love Belinda Carlisle would be the Go-Go's. That's the only other group. Which, by the way, I think they came out around the same time, around the late 80s. I mean, the late 70s, right? I'm going somewhere. And so now what we have is, and this is good because I'm setting up the stage, it looks like roughly 20 minutes in, so I'm about to end the video, but I'm going to set up the stage for what the next video is going to be about. And the next video is going to be about the fact that there's a lot of girl power in Klymaxx, a lot that I don't even think we could probably never see again. We wouldn't see this again. And I feel kind of, left out because I'm there experiencing all of this music as it's coming out, and I'm not appreciating what these two ladies was bringing into music. And they're still not being appreciated. All girl band. And then you have Lynn Malsby, who writes that perfect pop record, I Miss You. Joyce sings that record to the top of the pop charts, And I've always looked at this group now as, this is just me, I was like, if they stayed together and they let it work the way it needed to work, you know what? Joyce, Fenderella, Irby would definitely be a pop star. She would. Bernadette Cooper would definitely have been that producer who, well, no, let me take that back. Joyce, Fenderella, Irby would definitely have been a pop star. Bernadette Cooper would have definitely blazed a trail for herself. As you remember, I said she's definitely writes like she's a woman's woman. I don't think any other woman writes that. Oh, see, I love it. It came to me. Missy Elliott. I'm done. If I could compare an artist right now to Bernadette Cooper as far as production is concerned and how she does it and her approach with it, because Missy Elliott is definitely a woman's woman. She's all about her femininity in her music. That's what she at. That's Bernadette Cooper. That's Bernadette Cooper. Wow. Bernadette Cooper would definitely be that Missy Elliott. Wow. Or Missy Elliott, or I could say Missy Elliott. So when I say that so think about it. Good example. So think about Missy Elliott, those who like Missy Elliott from a production standpoint and all of that stuff. That's where I see Bernadette Cooper in that line, that very, very line, that whimsical, kind of like, what were you thinking kind of production style, but it works. Check out, and if you don't believe me, check out Shirley's song called New Dress. Check out Madam X's single, Just That Type of Girl, or the whole album, period. We're going to talk about their individual albums. I think this is a good place to stop. I don't want to go over 30 minutes. So anywho, on that note, I think these two ladies, if Klymaxx had stayed together, excuse me, Bernadette Cooper and Joyce Fenderella Irby could have definitely been the LA and Babyface, the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, the female group, the female duo. They could have been. And on that note, as I'm ending the video, don't forget, over here we believe in putting your behind where your heart desires to be. Also remember, whenever I leave my mother's presence, what she says? She says, baby, remember, I love you, but God loves you best. And on that note, you know what I hope to do? I'm sure I will. And that is, I'll see you next video. And until then, you all take care of yourselves out there.